How do I know if a journal is reliable? In this video, we will look at journal quality, journal rankings, and some of the tricks used by journals to try to pretend to be prestigious, high-ranking journals. First, let's start with the basic rule of scientific research. It's not what you say, but where you say it. What matters is not only what is being said, but who is saying it and in which journal it is being said. An influential researcher writing in a prestigious journal is going to have more impact than someone else who says the exact same thing in a less well-known journal. Sad but true. So a lot of attention goes to a journal's perceived status in the community. Some journals react to this by choosing names that are very close to the names of prestigious journals. Beware of imitations. The order of words matters in the same way that you would probably prefer to have a Giorgio Armani t-shirt than an Armani Giorgio t-shirt. Note also that machine translating a journal title may not pick up the subtle differences in journal names. Journal quality is sometimes measured in terms of indicators such as journal impact factor, but please be aware that these indicators can be manipulated, for example if editors put pressure on authors to cite additional references to previous papers published in the same journal. Furthermore, the threat and use of legal action prevents an open discussion on the names of journals that might be engaging in questionable practices. If in doubt, you can ask your supervisor, who is probably aware of which journals are better than others. For example, if there is a paper you are interested in, but you are not sure if it is published in a reliable journal or not, you can ask your supervisor. There are a number of journal lists that have been set up to identify which journals are the highest ranking and most prestigious. For example, the Financial Times has a list of the top 50 journals for business schools. There is also the ABS list that can be viewed on their website after setting up a free account. Beall's list of potential predatory journals might also be of interest to check which journals are associated with questionable practices and low quality publications, although this list may change over time and may not include all the most recent predatory journals. This slide shows the widely used Financial Times top 50 list of journals that are the most relevant for business schools. This is the most recent version of the list that I found. If you want to look in detail, you can pause on this slide or follow this link. If we zoom in on what are generally considered to be the big 5 management journals, they are shown here in yellow. Academy of Management Journal, Administrative Science Quarterly, Management Science, Organization Science, and Strategic Management Journal. And now if we zoom in on the big 5 economics journals, they are highlighted here: American Economic Review, Econometrica, Journal of Political Economy, Quarterly Journal of Economics, Review of Economic Studies. And on this slide we have what are generally considered to be the top 5 journals in finance. Journal of Finance, JFQA, the Journal of Financial and Quantitative Analysis, Journal of Financial Economics, Review of Finance, and Review of Financial Studies. And finally, on this slide, we have the top 3 entrepreneurship journals: Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice, Journal of Business Venturing, and Strategic Entrepreneurship Journal. One metric that is commonly applied to discussions of journal quality is the journal impact factor. Here, for example, we see the journal impact factor for the journal Research Policy from the publishing company Elsevier. Similarly, we see something called the CITE score. The impact factor for Research Policy is 9.473. So what? Is it high? Is it low? Actually, it's pretty high. The journal impact factor is calculated using the following formula. The journal impact factor equals the number of citations to publications in the last 2 years divided by the number of articles published in the same 2 years. The journal impact factor is an indicator of journal impact in the sense that it measures how many citations go to its papers. The journal impact factor can be increased if the number of citations to it increase or if the number of articles that it publishes decreases. While it may seem like a good indicator at face value, it is an imperfect indicator that can be manipulated in various ways, as nicely explained in this article by Ben Martin in 2016. Hence, in some cases, rigorous journals can have lower journal impact factors than lower quality journals. Journal impact factor is not always a good way of telling whether a journal is reliable. Another way of thinking about whether a journal is reliable or not is by checking which publishing company publishes the journal. Some well-known publishing companies include MIT Press, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, University of Chicago Press, Elsevier, Springer Nature, Sage, and so on. And finally, the quality of an article can be checked by looking not only at the journal, but at the article itself. Of course, sometimes good journals publish bad papers, and sometimes bad journals publish good papers. There are always exceptions. When thinking about article quality, you can think about the following. Are the authors reliable? Have they published a lot in this area? Are the authors from well-known research universities? Does the paper appear to be high quality? According to various indicators such as having an interesting research question, having rich data, using advanced techniques, including a rigorous investigation of alternative explanations, and so on. You can also get a rough idea about the importance of an article by seeing whether it has been cited by subsequent research. For example, using Google Scholar, you can search for an article and see how many times it has been cited by looking at the information on cited by at the bottom. So to conclude, it is not always easy to know whether an article or a journal is reliable. Low quality journals use all kinds of tricks to try to appear prestigious. Nevertheless, I hope the ideas discussed here can be useful. Thank you.